Speaking English for travel beginners. Let's talk about travel for English beginners. Traveling can be a fun and exciting experience. But it can also be challenging, especially if you don't speak the local language. This video will help you improve your English language skills while learning about different aspects of travel. Let's start with some common phrases you can use to ask for information when you're traveling. You can ask, "Excuse me, can you tell me where the nearest train station is? Or do you know how I can get to the city center from here?" If you're in a foreign country and need help with translation, you can say, "Do you speak English?" Or "I'm sorry, I don't understand. Can you please speak slowly?" Now let's talk about transportation. Getting around in a new city or country can be a bit tricky, so it's important to know some basic phrases. For example, you can ask, "How much is a taxi ride to the airport?" Or "What's the best way to get to the beach?" If you're traveling by public transportation, you might want to know how to buy a ticket. You can say, "One ticket, please," or "Can I buy a day pass?" When you're traveling, you'll probably want to try some local food. Don't be afraid to ask the waiter or waitress for recommendations. You can say, "What's the most popular dish here?" Or "Can you recommend something that's not too spicy?" If you have any dietary restrictions or food allergies, you can let the server know by saying something like, "I'm allergic to shellfish. Does this dish contain any?" Or "I'm a vegetarian. Do you have any vegetarian options?" It's also important to know how to ask for help if you get lost or have an emergency. You can say, "Excuse me, can you help me? I think I'm lost." Or "I need to call the police. Do you know where the nearest police station is?" Now let's talk about some common phrases you can use when sightseeing. You can ask, "What's the best way to see the city?" Or "Are there any guided tours available?" If you're visiting a museum, you might want to ask, "Can I take pictures inside the museum?" Or "Is there an audio guide available?" Finally, let's talk about accommodations. When you're traveling, you'll need a place to stay. You can ask, "Do you have any available rooms?" Or "What's the price per night?" If you're not happy with your room or have any problems, you can ask to speak to the manager by saying, "Excuse me, can I speak to the manager, please?" And there you have it! Some common English phrases and vocabulary to use while traveling. Remember to practice speaking English as much as possible, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. With time and practice, you'll become more confident and fluent in English. Thank you for watching, please subscribe and like the video.